Fishing and recreational opportunities that bring people back time and time again to this part of the country. It's the people, their warm hospitality, and some of the fascinating stories they have to tell. Let's take a few minutes and meet a few real northerners. Grandma Jean lives in Hell's Acres near Red Lake. Her story goes back to the area's gold rush.
Yes, I'm a pioneer of Red Lake. I'll be 55 years in Red Lake in a couple of months. This is a prospector's pick, which my husband, George Campbell, discovered Campbell Mines with. And this is the pan and the moil and the pistol where he crushed the rock and panned it in here to find out if there was actually gold in that rock. When I came into Red Lake on October the 1st, 1928, it was bush. There was 8 white women and 400 men. You were never a wallflower at the dance. Red Lake had nothing. It just had one gold mine. To what you see Red Lake now, it's like comparing it, say, Toronto 200 years ago, and now what it is. My husband was a very lovable guy, but I'm prejudiced. But the thing is, he was a man's man and he was a woman's man. He got along with men and he got along with women, and he had great respect for a woman in immaterial what shape, size, form, or what her status in life was. You would have, anybody that met George always liked him. I started my collection of salt shakers in 1940 when the Howie gold mine, the only gold mine then was in here, closed down. A lot of my friends were leaving, so they wanted to leave something for me, so they started with the salt shakers. If you start with the salt shakers through here, that goes to the back here, I know I have over 4,000 pair under the plastic. These come from Dresden, China. Dresden City. They're Dresden, China. Those are from Mrs. Roosevelt's brother, the orange with a calling card. And I have a pair over here. They're little pewter canoes. They're about 200 years old. They come from London, England. And I also have Kermit cutting Miss Piggy in two. And then the rest of the salt shakers is just a collection. Well, with no reason or rhyme. So there's the collection of the salt shakers. It took me 43 years to collect.
Len Whiting was born when Kenora was still known as Rat Portage. His father was one of the first white explorers in the area.
My father's name was John Samuel Whiting, and he landed on the Lake of the Woods in 1876 and lived here the balance of his life. I was born in Rat Portage days, yeah. And I was born right in the Devil's Gap. My nearest neighbor was the old devil just down the creek. And that was a year before they changed the name to Kenora. I'd like to tell you a story about my dad. My dad landed on the Lake of the Woods in 1876, and it was a pretty new country. And he took contracts cutting logs for the sawmills that were coming into existence around the Lake of the Woods. The railroad was coming from the east and from the west. It hadn't got as far as Rat Portage at that time. And all this material was being brought in to be sawed into material for making ties for the railroad and bridge timber and lumber for building the houses in Rat Portage. And then there was a little bit of a gold strike here. And he went prospecting. He bought a birch bark canoe off some Indians and was paddling around looking for gold. And he staked many, many claims and patented many, many claims. Made a little bit of money here and there. I had a job in the fire hall in 1927 as a volunteer. I was single, and I lived there in the fire hall until 1924, I guess. And I married. And I've been married ever since. I've been married 54 years. That's a long time to stay with one woman, apparently, the way things go these days. But we've had a good life. I've enjoyed myself. I've done mostly what I wanted to do to the very best of my ability, other than spend more time on the Lake of the Woods.
Since 1973, Hank and Myrtle Deverell of Reddit, north of Kenora, have been building houses you can see through.
Behind me, Hank and I, you will see the only bottle buildings in northwestern Ontario. In 1973, we retired in Reddit and decided that we were going to do something with our free time, a sort of a retirement project. So we collected up bottles over the years and built the first bottle house ever to be built in this part of the country. I had a doll collection and was always interested in that, and my husband, who is a carpenter, very talented carpenter, built a house to display my dolls in. I have about 300 and something dolls in the house from all different countries, and from there it just boomeranged. Somebody came and said, why don't you build a wishing well? Well, we did that. We saw a windmill, and we decided we'd build a windmill. Then we said, that's the last, no more. We've had enough of bottles, we'll never build anything more. And then the youngsters came, and they wanted to know why we couldn't build something for them. So we built the home of the 3 bears for them. My husband made all the furniture, and I did the decorating of it up. And they found it very, very exciting. They like it very much. Even the grown-ups like it.
Welcome back to our special one-hour Wintario coming to you tonight from Minaki Lodge. And you know, with Wintario, we always say we all win. And right now, we'd like to give you a look at how Wintario funds are used to benefit the residents of Ontario.
Napanee's impressive courthouse dominates the rolling hills surrounding the town. And tucked in behind this building is a most unusual museum.
If you'd been charged with vagrancy 100 years ago, you would have ended up here in one of the cells of the old county jail. This building was used as a county jail until 1971. 5 years later, it was opened as the county museum.
The museum's collection consists of county artifacts, including costumes, agricultural, as well as household and decorative pieces. The museum's latest exhibit highlights the county's role in the First and Second World Wars. The collection also contains a large number of local documents, and one of the latest activities to receive Wintario funding is the museum's Bicentennial Heritage Project. This is considered to be a pilot project, since this is one of the first museums to index all of its archives on computer. This will enable the museum to make information readily available to researchers. Wintario is proud to support the Lennox and Addington County Museum's valuable work.
As a matter of fact, to date,